Hello, how are y'all today? Well, today's been a hectic day for me. Um, I work at a school district and I work as an AC tech. So today was the first day of school. So all the kids come back, and of course, you get all the kids in the rooms and get hot. That's when the air conditioner starts going out, get that load on the building. Just I was just thinking today, you know, back back when a lot of us were kids. I know a lot of us remember not really going back to school until like September uh, during Labor Day, after Labor Day, because it was so hot in the classroom, you know, and other reasons too, I'm sure. But I grew up in Northwest Louisiana, and it was hot. We didn't have air conditioning until I think junior high, so this was probably elementary that I'm kind of thinking about. But yeah, I remember they would in the hallways they had these flip out windows, that flipped out, and then they had them in the classroom too outside. Kind of had a heater radiator underneath, and so anyway, they would put a big fan in the end of the hallway, prop the doors open, which is unheard of nowadays, right? Prop the doors open, put this fan in there, and it sounded like a wind tunnel going through there. And anyway, so they had that, and then you got like I said, the doors are open on the classrooms, the the little louvers are open at the top, and then this poor teacher has this big fan in her classroom. It was one of those big pedestal fans, and I mean they were really roar. I don't know how the teacher actually taught us anything when it was like that, but I do remember stuff like in elementary for some reason I didn't really realize what this was for, but they took us all outside on the playground and got us some big rocks. Find a real nice smooth rock for you. We're gonna have a little project. So the project was actually a paperweight. They want us to paint it all up, personalize it. So it was a paperweight to hold our paperwork on the desk because the fans are blowing and stuff everywhere. So just kind of a funny thing I thought about the other day. It was a totally different time. Of course, we had a little metal desk with wood bottom, so I'm sure it was nice and hot too. But I just remember that today when I was worried about all the air conditioning. We're just spoiled nowadays. We got to have air conditioning, So yeah, it was a totally different time. But I did one funny thing. It's a poor teacher, but whenever she would talk, she just barely would talk because she had been screaming over the top of that fan by the end of the week. I'm sure she had a sore throat all weekend long because of that fan. Yeah, I do remember that. I also remember like discipline. Back then they paddled you. The teacher had a paddle. Of course, the principal had one too. If you were really bad, you got sent there at that point in time. I guess in elementary, but the teacher would take you in. I just remember they would paddle you in front of the whole class. They were like, grab that desk and paddle you in front of the whole class. And I was more worried about the humiliation of being in front of the class because I was so shy, So I didn't get in trouble that much for sure. But I was more worried about that than the paddling. I was definitely shy. I was trying to think what we. Yeah, the principal. I remember the principal started. You started having to go to the principal's office. Once I got up in junior high, I guess it was a little different. But the teachers most of the time would paddle you right in front of everybody. It was just like I said, a different time period. Of course, the buses didn't have any air conditioning or anything like that. So they were just like the school. Sweat all day at school, sweat all the way home. And it always seemed like we were somewhere where we were the first kids on, like the first kids on and the last kids off the bus. So it was like a full day on the bus. It was just like I say, just a little different time. Like I was telling my daughter, I said, we used to carry pocket knives in our pockets, as little kids, middle school. I had a pocket knife in my pocket all the way up through high school, and no one got stabbed, anything like that. I was the one, I didn't want to get up for a pencil sharpener, so I would just like sit there and whittle into it with a pocket knife in my desk. So nowadays, they probably kick you out of school for that one. Anyway, I was just thinking about the schools. My job at the school is kind of crazy sometimes. It was a crazy one today, and it seems like no matter what kind of planning you've done on the air conditioning or anything else, it's never going to fail. It's going to go out like the first week of school. Something is going to go out. And no matter how good you take care of these extremely old equipment, I mean, we try to keep them going, but that's the last thing they're worried about is air conditioning, right? Or any plumbing issues. They don't see any of that. Let's put our blinders on, right? Up there in the front in that admin building, they're going to turn that head. You know what I'm talking about if you work for a school district. It's definitely like that. So, yeah, if you have any comments, just please leave me comments in the comment section, and like and subscribe. I hope y'all have a great day.